Statues. Hey gang, I'm running an RPG for some fellow gamers of mine, and I know I want the final battle to be held in an epic space. So, this will be the first part in a series of builds that will be coming out over the next few weeks. The build is going to be an old abandoned temple, and here in part 1 we're going to build the centerpiece, the stone statue. For this project, I'm using an angel statue that I purchased at my local dollar store. The statue was originally a light purplish color, so I based it with a flat black spray paint. You could use gray to base this project, but I suggest using a dark gray and then using a lighter gray in the next step. After basing it black, I began applying gray to represent the stone that the statue is made from. By using a sponge to stipple the paint on instead of brushing it, it helps in the illusion of the stone texture. You should start your stippling lightly until you know the type of pattern your sponge is going to create. Every time you add fresh paint to the sponge, dab it onto a towel before applying it to the statue. This helps to draw excess paint off, allowing the pores of the sponge to aid in creating the textured effect. You may still get an occasional smudge or smear, but overall, the look will be that the statue was sculpted from stone. I suggest starting with about 50% coverage with the gray over the entire statue and add paint in small amounts until you're happy with the look. It's always easier to add paint than it is to remove it. For my purposes, the lighting will mainly be coming through a hole in the ceiling of the room where this statue will be found, and will hit more of the top of the statue than the bottom. So I applied more gray onto the top half of the statue than I did the bottom half, hoping it would help in the illusion of light and shadow. My coverage came out to about 80 to 90% on the upper half of the statue, and 60 to 75% on the lower half. As I get to the upper front of the statue, I start to lightly brush the paint on with my sponge rather than stippling it to help bring out the features of the face, hair, shoulders, hands, and robe. We will make these pop out in greater detail when we get to the highlighting step. I used a smaller piece of sponge to get into spaces like the inside of the wings and the folds of the robe. And here is what the statue looked like after stippling on the base gray. For the highlighting, I used a pale gray. Using a flat brush, I picked out the highest points of the statue. I used the same technique as dry brushing that you might use on miniatures by getting paint onto the brush, then removing most of the paint by brushing it onto a towel before applying it to the statue. This helps create a softer blend and look to the highlighting. My main focus during this step was to hit the hands, face, hair, shoulders, top of the arms, frills of the robe, the outline of the wings, and the top of the wings. When the brush had almost no paint left on it, I lightly brushed over the entire statue to add a dusting of pale gray to it. This step is not necessary, but I was happy with the results. As a final step, I went back with my highlight color and hit the very top of the objects that the light will hit most. And here is a picture of the completed statue. So there you have it, gang, my take on stone statues. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with a friend. While you're here, leave a comment in the belows. Click the like button and don't forget to click on that bell so that way you'll be notified when I post my next video. Most of all though, thank you for sharing your time with me. I'm Fear the Platypus, and this one is done.